Hello everyone, happy new year. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Tess. Today we are going to be making a corset with a Queen Annie neckline. If you're new to the channel, you're welcome. If you're yet to subscribe, kindly do that and let's get right into the video. So guys, I folded my pattern paper into two, then I chalked my shoulder divided by two, came down to the chest line, bust point, under bust and my waistline. So what I'll be doing next is inserting my neck measurement. So you have to determine how deep or close you want it to be. So for me, for the neckline, I'm going to be using 2.75. You could use 3 inches. It depends on your preference. Then I'll come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. I'm going to connect it to the neckline. I'll check what I have at the chest line area, divide it by 2, then come in by half inch. And then on the chest line, I'm going to place my bust divided by 4. Then I'll be curving in my armhole. What I'll do next is divide my nipple to nipple by 2 inches. So the nipple to nipple is 8 inches. Divided by 2 will give me 4. I added half inch to it. So I'm going to be choking 4.5 all the way down. Then connect it into a straight line. So guys, for the dart intake at this side of the pattern, I'm going to be choking 1 inch. Then at this other side, I'm going to be choking 1.5. Then I'll connect it all the way down to the end of the pattern. Then connect all the way down to the bust point, coming down by like half inch to eliminate pointiness. So guys, next thing is to determine how deep you want your yoke to be. For me, I'm just going to be working with 7 inches. So from the shoulder point, I came down to 7 inches. Then I connected that into a straight line. What I'll be doing next is taking my dart. So on each side of the pattern, I'm going to be taking in 1 inch for the dart. So on this side, 1 inch, and on this other side, 1 inch. So I'll go ahead now to connect it all the way down to the bust point line, coming up by like half inch. So guys, what I'll do next is at the center front around the chest line area, I'm going to be coming in by 0.75. So you come in by 0.75 or half inch. After doing that, connect it all the way down to the bust point line. So I'm going to be connecting it all the way down to the bust point line. After doing that, from the bust point line, I'm going to connect it all the way down to the under bust using my curve ruler. So guys, what I'll be doing next is curving from this point all the way down here, giving it a sweetheart effect. You could use your curve ruler or your free hand. So I'm just using my curve ruler to do that. So guys, for the second cup, I'm so sorry. I thought I was recording, but my phone didn't record. So what I did was to check the difference between the bust point and the under bust, then added half inch to it and then curved in the second cup. So guys, if you do not understand what I just said, I'm going to drop a link. I have a video on how to make a corset. If you watch the video, you understand what I did on this side of the cup. So I'm going to be blending it into the armhole. So from the first cup, I'm just going to blend, then just curve it a bit into the armhole. After doing that, we are good to go. I'm just going to blend that point, and then at the shoulder line, I'm going to slant all the way down to this point. So just watch what I'm doing. So I slanted from this point all the way down here. So guys, after connecting my line, you could see the sweetheart effect already. So I'm going to label this as my front yoke and then tick out the areas I'll be taking off. So guys, this pattern is really easy to make. After taking out the dart, at the chest line area, I'm going to be placing my bust measurement divided by 4, replace back the dart I took at that point, and then add 2 inches for my sewing allowance. At the under bust, my under bust measurement divided by 4, I'll replace back the dart I took and add 2 inches. I'll do the same thing at the waistline. After doing that, I'm going to be connecting my lines together. So guys, I want the down to have a bass effect. So I'm using 7 inches for this. So what I'll do is close my darts. So I'm just going to fold the pattern and close in the darts. After closing my darts, from the waist, I'm going to slant all the way down to this point. After doing that, we are good to go. I'm going to label this as number 1 and number 2 for the cup. For you not to get confused, you could label the cup as up and down. So I'm going to label this as up and label this as the down part. You do the same thing for the second cup as well. So guys, we are good to go with the front pattern. I'll go ahead now to cut out my pattern. So guys, if you are yet to subscribe to the channel, kindly do that and let's get right back. So as you can see, I'm trying to cut out the pattern. After cutting out my front pattern, we are good to go. So guys, after cutting out the pattern, this is what it looks like. So this is what the front looks like. What we'll be doing next is cutting out the back. For the back, I have several videos on how to draft out the back pattern. Just watch any of my video and you see it there. So after drafting out the back, I'm going to be adding loop to it. I'll go ahead now to cut out my back. So guys, like I said, just watch any of my videos. You see the pattern drafting there. So after cutting out the back, this is what it looks like, as you can see. So what I'll be doing next is cutting out my fabric. So guys, I've gone ahead to cut out my fabric and also cut out the lining piece. So on the main fabric, I added ½ inch all around, as you can see. After doing that, I'm going to be joining the center front and the sides together. So I'm just going to place the center this way. I added paper stay on it. So go ahead, add your paper stay on it. After doing that, I'll be joining the center and the side together. So I'm going to place it right side facing each other, then stitch using ½ inch all the way down. I'll do the same thing here. I'll stitch ½ inch. So guys, what I'll be doing next is joining my cups. So guys, as you can see, I added ½ inch all around on the main fabric and I notched the bust point area so you don't get confused, and label your up and down just the way I did. Just make sure you label your up and down so you don't get confused. I have my number 1 and number 2. So what I'll do is join 1 and 2 together, 1 and 2 together. So you join the notched parts together. So that's why it's very important for you to notch. So what I'll do is place them right side facing each other, then stitch using ½ inch all the way down. Then I'll do the same thing for this other cup as well. So guys, after joining the center front and the sides, this is what it looks like, as you can see. Then for the cup, after joining my cup, this is it for the cup. So guys, you can choose to add your boning on the main fabric or on the lining. For me, I want the boning case to be at the back side of the main fabric. So I'm going to be using my bias to create my boning channel. I'm just going to place it this way. So guys, after placing, I'm going to be stitching on the sides. So I'll stitch all the way down here and stitch all the way down. Then I'll place other boning casing. So it depends on how full you want it to be. So after adding my boning casing to it, this is what it looks like, as you can see. So I'll be attaching my boning on the boning casing. So guys, for the cups, I'm going to be adding my already made cup. So I'm just going to fold it into 2 just to make the cup pronounced. So I'll take in my darts, ½ inch, stitch from this point all the way down here, and do the same thing for this other cup as well. So go ahead, stitch it a bit. Then after stitching, this is what it looks like. You can see how pronounced the cup looks. So what I'll do is add my cup to the fabric. So I'm just going to place it in this way. So guys, go ahead to pin it down. After pinning it down, I'm going to be stitching all the way down to this point. So stitch all the way down here and then repeat same process for the other cup. Place it in, pin it down to hold it in place, and after pinning, stitch all the way down to this point. What I'll do next is add my cup to the fabric. So I'm going to place it this way and then make sure the seam allowance of the cup matches with the center front. Then you stitch using ½ inch and then you do the same thing for the other cup. So I'm just going to place it this way and stitch. After stitching, this is what it looks like after joining. So what I did next was to join my lining piece as well. As you can see, I've joined the cup to the fabric. This is what it looks like. Then what I'll be doing next is working on the yoke. For the yoke, I've gone ahead to cut my yoke on fold. I have added my sewing allowance all around. So guys, you can see that my yoke is on fold. So what I did was also to add paper stay on my yoke so that it will be a bit firm. So I added paper stay on my yoke, and then this is what it looks like. So what I'll be doing next is joining my fabric and the yoke together. So I'm just going to place it this way, as you can see, and place the other yoke. So what I'll be doing next is joining the yoke and the fabric together. So I'm just going to place my yoke on my fabric this way, and then stitch using half inch. Do the same thing here. After stitching, this is what it looks like. So I'm just going to place my lining piece on the fabric. So go ahead, place your lining on the fabric. You can pin it down, then stitch using half inch, and then you turn it inside out. So guys, after stitching, this is what it looks like. I'll go ahead now to give it a very good press, and we are good to go with the front. Then for the back, I'm really not laying emphasis on the back because I have several videos on how to achieve the back. Just watch any of my videos on my YouTube channel and you will see what I did for the back. Then now for the front, I've cut out the down part of the front. I've added my lining as my door face. So for the bust, I'm just going to fold my fabric into two. Then I'll be placing my front on fold as well. So the top part of the front, I folded it into two as well. I'm just going to place it on the down part of the front this way, and then use my chalk to sketch out what I have there. So just watch what I'm doing. After sketching it out, I'm going to take out the front and then cut it out. When you're cutting, leave half inch for joining allowance. Don't cut on the exact line you have there. So after cutting, this is what it looks like. I'm just going to open it up and then stitch just to secure these two fabric together. After stitching, I'm going to be placing my front on it. Place it right side facing each other. Then I'm going to stitch using half inch, and then stitch this area using half inch as well. And also for the back, I've closed the zip allowance area for now. So what I'll be doing is placing the top part of the back to the down part of the back. So I'm just going to place it this way, and then I'll be stitching them together using half inch. I'll do the same thing for this side as well. So guys, after stitching, this is what it looks like for the front and also for the back. So what I'll be doing next is adding the front and the back together. So I'm just going to place them right side facing each other. Then on the shoulder area, I'll be stitching using half inch on both sides. So guys, for my sleeve, I folded my net into two, then folded it into two again. I'll be cutting for the both sleeve. Then I use my free hand to cover up my armhole. Then I'm just cutting out the sleeve. So go ahead, cut out your sleeves and then notch. Then what I'll be doing is joining my sleeve to the dress. I'm just going to open it up this way and place the notch part of the sleeve on the shoulder part of the dress, and then stitch using half inch all around. Then do the same thing for the other part as well. So guys, after adding my sleeve, what I'll be doing next is shaping. So I'll go ahead now to shaping the dress, and then after shaping, this is what it looks like. So what I'll be doing is ironing. So I'll give it a very good press, but before doing that, I'm going to be adding my zip to it. I'll add my zip and then show us the end result. So guys, this is the end result. As you can see, I added applique at the top part of the dress. You can tell in the video that she loves the outfit. I hope this tutorial was helpful. Please do not forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, drop a comment. So guys, drop a happy new year on the comment section. I pray that this new year brings more laughter, happiness, more wisdom, more knowledge, and may all your heart desires come to pass. Once again, happy new year, and see you guys in my next class. Bye.